Here's a look at our go-to extra point block. Now, in most youth football teams, if the team scores, they kick the ball, they get 2 points. So if you get scored on, you cannot allow them to get the extra two and go down 8-0 or give them 8 every time they score. You have to have an extra point block. And this is even more critical at the older age levels once teams once teams are able to start kicking it more consistently. All right. So what we do with our and I'll get into the kind of the personnel where we put our players to based on their skill set, but I'll just go over the schematics of this. All right. So we're a 3-5 stack. Not that that matters, but we're gonna put our nose. We're gonna slide him over. He's gonna be in a right A gap. This kid's gonna be on the inside shoulder of the left tackle. The rip is gonna be between the nose and our tight end. All right, our dog is going to be on the outside shoulder, almost head up on the tight end. All right, he's on head up on the tight end on the right tackle. This kid's head up on the tight end. This kid is right on the outside shoulder of the tight end. All right, so now on this side we have kind of what we just call it a pick. All right, so we're going to pick this and then set up a lane for our block player. And then on this side we're just have a simple overload. So we're basically sending 3 through 2 gaps. All right, so we kind of overload, outnumber them, and then on this side we kind of have a pick for our best athlete to go and try to block it. All right, so a couple different things here. Coaching points, the kick is going to be blocked. Let's get this tool. This kick is going to be blocked within here. Like none of these kids, so many coaches have their kids line up here, then they'll blitz them off the edge here, which is good in regard to containment or if it's a bad snap, but most of the time that's not where the kick's going to be blocked. The kick's going to be blocked in here. So this is where we're setting up our block play. It's going to be blocked inside. All right. So this nose, he's going to slant through. Okay. A lot of times we'll put in a faster kid here. All right. We'll kind of take out our nose guard and put in more of our pass rushing nose because we do have 2 sets of nose guards. One's our base one, that our starting nose guard, and then there's one we put in when we're in long down and distance situations because we need more speed on the field for pass rushing. All right, because typically our nose guard is a 2-gapper in our 3-5, which is a bigger, stronger kid. So he's not ideal for having a really fast get off and blocking a kick. So we will sub in our more so mobile nose guard. All right, our nose guard that's a little bit better athlete that we use on pass rush situation. All right. So now he's going to go through the inside shoulder of this guard. All right. He's going to occupy that guard because these guys are all going to be taught to block down. All right. Our end here, okay, this is going to be our most explosive defensive tackle, someone that gets off the ball real fast. He is going to attack the outside shoulder of this tackle. And why he does that is because if you look, everyone's taught to block down, right? So if we pry through this outside shoulder, just drive through it. All right, we're telling him go right through that outside shoulder. All right, it'll pry him open a little bit and create a lane. It won't allow him to fully step down, so a lot of times it'll pry him open and give us a little crease to hit in here. All right, because like I said, they're taught to block down, and if you hit him on his outside shoulder, it'll kind of turn this blocker and give you a crease, like I said. So many mistakes coaches make, they just shoot gaps, and then everyone just washes down, right? Like everyone just washes down. So it's kind of easy, like if you just had this kid shoot this gap, he's just going to wash down. He's going to be able to step down, get his base, and just cut that off. Whereas if you, boom, hit this kid, shock this kid back, don't let him get his base, you kind of have this kid just run right through it. It almost turn into an arm block, or it won't be a strong block to where you could just run through the kid. All right, so we're kind of picking. So it's definitely we need to be physical, drive through. As soon as that ball moves, boom, we're going through this kid's shoulder. All right, so that's a very important coaching point. He's going to go through the tight end because everyone's taught to block down. All right, so then a lot of times he'll be free, and then even though a lot of times he might not be able to block the kick unless the snap is high, the hold is slow, and the kick is slow, he could block it. But if you got a fast snap, good hold and kick, I mean, it's really hard to block it, even with this play. All right, so we're going to go through the tight end. So when he blocks down, we're going to replace, make him reach instead of blocking. Right, like he's going to reach, and we should be able to rip under that. And if there is a bad snap or something, we could, get there and recover it or block the kick or whatever. All right, so let's go through our overload side. So our end, All right, this is going to be, again, one of our faster kids, defensive lineman type player. You can put linebacker there, whoever you want. And again, you could mix and match the personnel based on what fits your team. I'll just tell you what the responsibility of that player is, and then you could pick your personnel however you want to do it. I'll also tell you the type of personnel we pick, all right? Because it doesn't necessarily mean it's what's good for us doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good for you. All right, but this kid here, he's going to go through the the inside shoulder of the guard. He's gonna slice right between the two. Okay, he is on the ball, but very slightly off because you need this kid to engage first. All right, a lot of times you can put him on the line of scrimmage, but he'll beat this kid. All right, or they'll just be able to down block. We want this kid to kind of work through that outside shoulder. And again, let's get my tool. We're kind of prying here. We want to go through this kid's inside shoulder, block down. We want to go through this kid's this kid's outside shoulder. Okay, but we're rushing. We're not picking. We're still rushing here. All right, the difference here is we are just driving this kid back. Just think of it like a drive block in offense. We're just driving this kid back. We're knocking him off his base and trying to drive him back so we can pry open a lane for this kid. All right, so he's going to work through the outside shoulder, but he's still going to try to block it. All right, he's going to be on a slight shade. I said he was head up, but he's actually going to be on a slight shade. All right, he's going to go through the tight end just like our dog here, and then our dog is going to go right on the inside of this blocking back. Now we keep our two corners free because if it is a fumbled snap or it's a fire call, we have someone. Okay, we're going to work. He'll have this blocking back. He'll have this blocking back. And we kind of want to work through these tight ends. And if it is a fire call, we don't want to let them through because they do have two and we really only have one free defender. But you could take maybe this kid, put him here. You could take this kid, put him out here. It's up however you want to do it. This is just how we do it. We like to run 5 to the overload and 4 to the pick side. All right. So let's get these lines off of here. Okay. All right. So guys, it's a simple extra point block. Here's a look at practice footage of our extra point block. Now I just want to note that the kid out here needs to be moved in. He's out of the screen here, which he needs to be right here. This kid could be a half a step down too as well. But you could see, like, here's the pick side, here's the overload side. Now we just lined up kids. All right, we have guard, tackle, tight end, and one wing back or blocking back to the overload side because we do have pretty much 5 over here and only 4 over here. So, we only have enough kids for this on this walkthrough to set up that. So, and we're not going live here. We're just kind of lining the kids up and going through it. All right, as you can see, we're not going live. Do we practice it live? Yes, we do. We scrimmage the team. We do a live extra point block session with our 8th graders, and we're 7th graders here. So we practice, our extra point blocking and then our extra point block. So we'll get live reps. But this by far gives you the best look from a schematic and point of view of what these kids are responsible to do. All right, so this kid is going to pry here. He's shooting here. He's going to go here. All right, that's our block player. He's shooting through here, shooting through here. He's going to throw here. You could see how the lane opens on each side. Now, again, we are not live here, but we're just kind of just going through it. We're just lining up an extra point block and we're going. All right, so let's just keep an eye at these 3 and these 3. Here's the overload side. Here is the pick side. All right, so let's run this through. Oops. Now again, we're pretty much going on air. We just line kids up so it looks good and this kid's going to drive. This kid is going to let him drive him back, right? But you could see that this is, if it is executed right and physically, man, this is a nice block. You could see how this pries this kid free to block the kick. He does a good job of really driving through that outside shoulder and pushing him back. He's going to occupy the guard. Now, if the guard goes to him, he's free. All right, if the guard goes down, he's free. It's basically sending 3 over 2. And again, same thing here, 3 over 2. So you could essentially call the overload on each side, but this is the pick side and this is the overload. So let's watch the pick side again. Good job forcing it. Boom. Go through. Good. Let's watch the overload side. All right, I would have liked this kid's probably should take a step up. But let's see, he goes through a little slow here from him. All right, we need to be a little more physical and a little more aggressive here. This kid does a good job. I would like to see him more so on this outside shoulder because this kid's going to block down. All right, so that's not ideal, but you could see like the concept behind it, right? Like you could see this kid's going free. This kid is free. This kid's blocking. Boom, there's the scene. Same thing here, right? Here, here, here's the scene. So, it's a decent extra point block here. Now, guys, the play works. It's really good. I'll run it through. I'm not sure what our dog's doing here. I told him to work through, but he's got to get off of that and then rush. So don't do that. It's not what we told him to do. But yeah, and our corners are a little bit further back. I'm not even sure why this kid's not on the screen, but we were just but this guys put a lot of emphasis on this. Put your 6 best kids here and get that block because you're sending 3/2, sending 3/2. So, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. It's a great extra point block. Definitely practice it on air. Practice it just lining up some extra players there, and also practice it in live situations against a scout team or scrimmage another team in your organization, whatever. But make sure you give this live practice reps as well as going through it on air.